Morning. Now, little dunce Tarragon. You seem to be forgetting it's you that's running around the internet making little retarded claims, you little spastic. Now, get your evidence put up, you little runt. Stop running around making your little pissy threats that don't bother anyone. You're a little weak runt, Rick. And you're landing yourself in a lot of trouble, you daft little runt. Now, this here spluttering about Danny needs to put up this, Danny needs to put up that. No, Danny doesn't need to put up anything. You need to prove your claims, you stupid little spastic. Tell us, Richard, what did you think that you would achieve? Because all you've achieved is you've made yourself look like a complete and utter dunce running around the internet, brown-nosing Brian Hell, while slating good people. You seem to be jumping on the bandwagon of Divvy as well. What is it with you, Richard? You're running around calling people names while you're the one that seems to be defending nonces. Funny that one, isn't it, Richard? And this here, thinking that you're hiding away, no one knows where you are. I know exactly where you are, little man, and I've known exactly where you are for a long time. It's you that runs around the internet making pissy threats that you can't back. 3 years ago you were saying that you were going after Sean. Never happened. Come to think of it, every threat you've ever made has never happened, has it? You make out that you made some sort of impact towards Wake Up UK. No, I highly doubt you made any real impact there, Richard. You showed yourself for a complete and utter wrong 'un, because when you run around the internet saying that someone doxed you, and the individual you're saying doxed you isn't the individual that doxed you, and you have done much worse than that individual in doxing someone yourself, you dirty degenerate. You actually went and put someone's full name, full address, postcode, the lot, along with a picture of their actual house out, didn't you, Richard? So you have no grounds to talk over anything. This here, thinking that you're something special, some sort of authority figure. No, you're not. You're a 5'5" little runt that's piss wet through. Like, no one really cares about your dunce-like opinions, Richard. And the cozying up to someone who gaslighted the family of a dead baby. Yeah, your stupidity's brought that one back out, hasn't it, Richard? Right, this here cozying up to a child abuser and your neglecting of your own children, Richard. You really should be ashamed of yourself.
Fucking other idiots. Do what you're doing. Do what you're doing. You're just highlighting yourselves for what you're about. So, crack on doing
Listen
what
to
you're
this
doing.
degenerate's voice.
Supporting lies, nonsense, and you've made Andy Divine actually have
What's that, little Rick brown-nosing Andy Divine now, eh? What a degenerate you've turned into, little Richard. No. Divvy doesn't have any credibility, just like you don't have any credibility.
Oh, good on you, Danny Jones. Fucking well.
Yeah, good on Danny Jones for showing us and highlighting the fact that Rick is a dirty little degenerate, a complete and utter wrong'un with no moral fibre whatsoever in him, a complete and utter flip-flop. I highly suspect you're the lefty. You run around screaming and shouting lefty all the time when you're jumping in bed with lefties left, right and centre, eh, Rick? And you pick a bullshit movement over your own family. Quite the father figure, eh, Richard?
Well done. You've disgraced Ricky German.
You've disgraced yourself, Richard, and you're running around using a name of an individual that you have blatantly tried to label as something. Now, how would you like me to pass the information of what you've been calling this individual on to the individual? It's not going to go too well for you, is it, Richard?
And to the point where he's probably rang you, not the other way around.
All assumptions all the time from you, isn't it, Richard? Never get any facts right, never have any evidence, no substance to what you're saying, just bullshit, spluttering of delusions. But it's hardly surprising when you've joined up with a little narcissist that's completely and utterly delusional, runs around the internet crying victim every time someone catches her out on her own bullshit.
You've shown everybody up.
You've shown yourself up, Richard.
Every single person up to do with it, posted research.
No, you've shown yourself up, Richard, well and truly. Like, this here splutterings of delusion that's coming out of you. It's all hissy fit crying because you can't back up your bullshit claims. Like, we've had weeks of nothing but dribble from you and the little skank. Now, you keep thinking that I'm Eric. Quite happy for you to think that, like, your delusions get you nowhere. I find them absolutely laughable, and you think that you can intimidate me, like, with your little threats. I tell you what, boy, you want to hope that you never meet me. Yeah, isn't it? Like, you don't like anyone that puts out the truth about it. You're little sniffing up to the likes of Jake Clark and all them now, isn't it, Richard?
Made everybody look like absolute scumbags.
You made yourself look like an absolute scumbag, Richard.
You've made it look like a nonce protection ring when
you are part of a nonce protection ring. Like, that's blatantly obvious and can be proven. Unlike your claims, I can back everything I say, you stupid little dunce.
it is or it isn't.
Come to the point of it, actually, Richard. You're running around making claims that people are this, that and the other. I can't see it being very much longer before you land yourself in a courtroom in which a judge is going to turn around and tell you that you're a nonce supporter, and a nonce defender, and a nonce apologist. Can't see that being too far away, boy.
That's it. You've literally destroyed any credibility.
You've literally destroyed any credibility that you never had. Right. You quite frankly are a sad excuse of a man. Right. And that partner of yours, I hope she's getting the hell away from you with the children, because quite frankly you're not fit to be around children, are you, Richard? And stop abusing that dog of yours. Like that there flimsy little chain that you're choking your dog with continuously. That is unnecessary suffering you're putting that dog through. All because of lack of attention, lack of care. You can't be bothered to train your dog. How long have you had that dog now? Well over a year, like, and still not trained? Yeah, you're doing well, Richard.
People around you still supporting you now. Anyone that doesn't call Danny Jones out now.
Anyone that calls Danny Jones out is clearly delusional and has no common sense. Now, the individual that needs to be called out is you, Richard. You are a pathetic little man, a complete and utter oxygen thief, a waste of oxygen.
supplied a web.
Yes, you have put a load of bullshit out that you can't back. You can't support your claims, and you're making pissy little videos whinging and crying because you're the one that's been challenged to put up evidence. So you think, oh, if you come crying that you want evidence for claims that you've made, not someone else. It's a bit backwards, isn't it, Richard? Right, this here deflection tactics continuously from you, projecting your own actions onto others.
Evidence. Anyone that doesn't call Danny Jones out on that.
Anyone that doesn't call Richard out on the fact that he's a Billy bullshitter would be just the same, wouldn't they, Richard, by your own logic?
Shit alone, then it says more about you. Simple as that.
Says a lot about you, Richard, the fact that you turn on anyone that goes out the way to help you. Danny did a lot to help you, and this here CMW thing, but you seem to think that Danny did nothing. It's a bit delusional, isn't it? And the irony of it, you're using a account with logos and that was created by Danny. Right, you hate the man so much, yet you're using his hard work. Well done, Richard.
Simple as that.
Now, what was it you were calling a lady? Only yesterday you were saying Wendy Wu is a frog boiling piss drinker. Nice man you are, ain't you, Richard? I find it highly laughable that you think that you have any moral grounds to stand above anyone. In actual fact, you're the lowest of the low, Richard. Your behaviour and way that you've gone on with little delusional girl is far worse than what Divi was. You're making more issues for her mental health than what Divi ever did. Right, if you was a caring individual, you would be telling that there little bleach drinker to get off the bleach, go and see a psychiatrist and sort her life out. But no, you're not a friend, are you? You're just an enabler that's using her because you want subs. You want to be seen as this, you want to be seen as that, you want to be seen as everything but what you actually are, isn't it, Richard?
Now, all people have to think about with Danny Jones is...
All people have to think about with Rick is he's a lying little rat. He runs around making pissy threats that he's never been able to back up. He likes to turn around and think that all Muslims smell like 7-year-olds. Very nice man this is, isn't it? He's an Islamophobe who tries to make out he's not. Right, and he sat there on a panel sat there speaking and thinking he's getting something productive out of hanging around with Muslims. I really don't know how he thinks this is gonna end well for him. It's all gonna backfire. You've got two extremes completely against each other that are sat there cuddling up and cozying with each other. Looks great.
If there is no problem and there was nothing to hide, why would Danny...
If there was no problem and there was nothing to hide, you would have put up this here bullshit evidence that you don't have. The fact is, because you don't have it, you're running around having a little hissy fit, ain't you, Richard? You've been having hissy fits for weeks on end now, ain't you? Your little phone calls, sending text messages saying it's addressed to someone else and then expecting the individual to answer the phone to you when they know that freaking you're trying to get in contact with someone else. It's hilarious, Richard. I quite find it funny because I know that you're having your little tantrum while you're trying to phone. It is absolutely laughable. And what do you think you would get if I was to answer? I would only tell you what a pathetic little runt you are, Richard. Like, how you're sad and pathetic and you lack any evidence and you run around spouting utter delusions. And you're a backstabbing little spineless runt. Now, I suggest you hurry up, Richard, and put up this here evidence that you don't have. Like, running around the internet thinking that you're going to threaten and intimidate people ain't going to go too well for you. You're, what, hour and 34 minutes away from me, you are. Depending on how much I want to open up my throttle. There you go, Richard. Bit of food for thought. Now I suggest you go and crawl back under your little scabby rock.